Here we are at the Noe residence in Texas, and we are meeting with some lovely people here. Folks, could you please introduce yourselves and where we are?
Sure. My name is Tim Noe. I'm Bobby's son, and this is my wife Jenny, and we're here in Arlington, Texas in my parents' home.
Wonderful, wonderful. So where were you when you heard the news about Bobby's illness with the laryngectomy?
My employment had taken us to Naperville, Illinois, and we actually were about 1,400 miles from my father when we heard the news. And anytime a loved one is diagnosed with an illness, it's difficult, but certainly the geography challenges we had there have been quite challenging, or were at the time.
Sure, sure. What were some of the challenges that you had to deal with that came up?
Just hearing the news, it was devastating to hear that someone in your family had been diagnosed with cancer, but not being able to be there in the initial visits with the doctors and all of the biopsies and tests. It was very difficult, and to not be there with them to give them the support I think they needed.
Sure, sure. And being in Naperville, Illinois, you obviously you're working. Were both of you working at the time, or no?
No, I was just home with the kids.
With your kids. And you
Stay-at-home mom.
How many kids do you have?
We have 3 daughters.
Great. And they age and range from?
Well, now they are 21, 17, and 13.
Wow. Wow. So active lifestyle as the mom and the busy family.
Very much so. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. So you heard the news. This is out in Texas, out in Arlington. What did you eventually do?
Well, it actually worked out to where my job had transitioned and enabled me to come back to Texas, which was a real blessing. So we were able to relocate the family back down here to Arlington, and really walk side by side with mom and dad through this illness.
Wow, wow. So when the laryngectomy procedure was actually done and Bobby was recovering, how did you feel? What were some of the challenges that you felt just as a family from yourselves and having to deal with this with your father?
You know, initially, as they described the surgery, we knew it was going to be a very traumatic time for our family. And as we kind of went, down that path and along that journey, we certainly were able to get a better feel for how impactful it was going to be. And I will say the first few months were very challenging for us. But again, we were here locally, and the surgery was done in Dallas, about a 40-minute drive for us. So we were able to be there with him throughout the surgery and the recovery.
Great, great. Did you find that there was a lot of information out there on whatever resources that you were pulling on the surgery or on the recovery or on how he might be able to learn to speak again?
We found quite a bit around the surgery itself, and then there was more limited information on really the recovery time periods and what that would mean from a quality of life standpoint. We were fortunate to certainly run into Atos via the web and understand the great work that Atos is doing around prosthesis and speech, and that we really leaned on that pretty heavily, getting Dad through not only approaching the surgery, but during and after the surgery.
Wow. What do you think were some of the key elements in your father's recovery and quality of life now?
You know, he's a never quit guy. You know, he's been that way all of his life. He's had a very strong work ethic, and always has really hit issues or problems head on and embraced them, and not, not be in denial or anything. He always embraced the diagnosis, and then as we approached the laryngectomy and post-laryngectomy phase, he just really embraced that. But it was very important as a family to stay together and really give him the support and infrastructure he needed to transition through the different stages. So that was a very important element.
Great, great, great. Any additional comments that you might have? If you were able to speak to family members or someone that is undergoing, that is going through the same process and journey that you both have gone as a family, what advice might you give to them?
I would say there is light at the end of the tunnel. Just stay with it. Be very diligent with the physicians and speech pathologists, and really do your research via the web and find the right solution for your particular need. And then just really hang in there. You know, it does get better. The first few months were very difficult, but I'll tell you, now his speech and quality of life is quite a bit better than prior to the surgery. So and we've rid his body of the cancerous tumor, which was the main thing. So I would just encourage anyone that's contemplating this sort of surgery and recovery, that there is light at the end of the tunnel, and just stay with it.
Great.
And keep pushing and searching, and not to give up, because he, you know, the recovery was not as they said it was going to be. And even if that is, you know, what happens, he didn't give up. He just kept pushing and would not stop. And
yeah,
I
it's
think that's very
perseverance.
important. Yeah.
It was a tougher recovery than what
Yes.
you
It
were
was.
Yes, than
Okay.
predicted. Correct.
Okay. Wow.
But we got through it, and
Yeah.
that's the thing to focus on, is you can get through it. And the quality of life for my father has gradually gotten better each passing week, and he is very, very active now, I think, as you'll see, and just really has a great quality of life.
Great, great. Well, thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it.